Once again, playing with my new toy. I'm hoping this thing is working. I'm taking a little break. Hello, friends. Still playing with my new toy. Taking a little break from the painting and doing some calligraphy up here in my studio, in my office again. So looking forward very much to getting some good writing done. Let me tell you what I'm doing. First of all, I did... this is my second rough draft. This is the first verse of Bob Dylan. What's the name? Bob Dylan. This is the first verse of Bob Dylan's version of the song Forever Young. Slightly different from that other guy, whose name I'm escaping. Evidently, I'm really bad. Evidently, I'm really, really, really bad with names when I'm broadcasting. So forgive me. I have a hard time remembering my own name. Anyway, back to the subject at hand. This is a gift for Christmas, and if the person to whom I'm giving this gift happens to watch this broadcast, then please don't tell me until after you open the gift on Christmas Day. Okay? Fair enough? I hope you're not watching, but if you are, so be it. This is what you're getting. At least one of the things you're getting. Okay, so verse 1. I then and this is the second version. I then picked up the size, the kind of mat that I'm likely to use, and placed it like that. And sure enough, it fits, but barely. It's really too crowded. There's not enough boundary. So I have to discard a lot of that work and do it again. So what I've done is I found a pen. Let me show you, first of all, the pen that I did the first version, the first and second version with. These are called, what are they called? Pilot Parallel pens. And they are wonderful tools. I know this one works, because this is the one I did it with. They're really delightful calligraphy pens. One of the nicest things about them, can I zoom in a little bit more? Oh yeah, there we go. One of the nicest things about them is you can actually use the corner as a very, very fine, I mean by that, not fine, I mean as a very good line tool, which you can't do that with normal calligraphy pen. So that's a really nice characteristic. Now, the professionals tell me, and I am not a professional calligrapher, I guess you know that. The professionals tell me that they use parallel pens, but they're a little bit stiff compared to most. I'm looking for the largest size here. Here it is. Oh, huge. I don't think this has any. Oh, it does have some ink in it. Very good. Look at that. So really nice, thick and thin lines. For those of you who are just starting calligraphy and you want a tool that's handy, I would recommend. So I've got 4 different sizes. I did this with a 2.4, and I determined that the 1.5 would be just too, oh good, there's ink in that one too. How about that? I determined that the 1.5 would just be a little too skinny, so I ransacked my stash of fine calligraphy equipment and found this very nice Lamy, L-A-M-Y, it's German, very nice calligraphy pen, and it took me quite a bit of while to get it all working, but I think it is functioning now. I've put a lavender colored ink in this because that's the color that I want for this calligraphy project. Now, and then I did on a piece of water, the final will be done on a piece of watercolor paper, probably very much like this. This is a hot press something, arches, arche, I believe is the right word, but in America, most of us call it arches. And then I took, are you hanging on? This is only a calligrapher could really enjoy. Let me zoom in again a little bit more. I think you can see the lines on this. So I calculated the difference between this size pen and this size pen from a 2.4 to a 1.9 and said, well, that's about a 20% reduction, and then calculated how thick the lines ought to be. And then I took several minutes of tracing using a lined ruler to draw guidelines. Now, in this case, I've gone full-on guidelines. That is to say, top and bottom line of each line of type. And because I'm really insecure because I haven't done calligraphy in a while, months that would be. So I feel like I'm pretty rusty. And I'm going to rewrite all of this. And this time, I boxed in, left room for a illuminated capital. And it's going to be the letter M. So good old Google came to the rescue. I typed in illuminated letter M. And I got pages and pages and pages. Now I just selected, screenshot this, and dumped it on one page and have printed it out. So that'll help give me some ideas about how I want to do my letter M. Here's a nice one, because all of this is being done in Unseal, UNCIAL, Unseal typeface. It'd be nice to have a illuminated capital that goes along with that. Okay, once again, I'm wearing the glove that I've cut off 4 fingers but left the pinky. That is to protect the paper, not to protect my hand, as some people online often. So if you ask me, why am I wearing a glove, I'll know you didn't watch the video. Okay, so it's to protect the paper. Now, finally, we start then with the fun stuff. I always put a Post-it note, actually several Post-it notes, on my paper so that I can make sure my pen is functioning properly before I begin doing the actual lettering. Now I'm having a little bit of trouble here. Let me get this out of the way, because I don't want to get rid of this cover, because it comes in too handy. There we go. That'll do. Whew. Once again, the nice thing about calligraphy is that you have to be relaxed to do it. So doing calligraphy, I mean, I don't know much about Zen Buddhism. I imagine I would have some considerable deep philosophical quibbles with it, but everybody knows the word Zen, and I'm going to use that word the way most people use it, which is to say, oh, you get in a nice, relaxed zone. Are you with me? So that's the way I'm using the term. And you do indeed have to get in a nice, relaxed place to do good calligraphy. So here we go with a little relaxation. Still having trouble getting this positioned. There we go. Okay, the letter M. Oh, no, not the letter M, because the letter M goes in that box. Thank you for catching that for me. By the way, far and away, the most common mistake that I make in calligraphy is typographical errors. Because when you do calligraphy, you're not thinking, see if you can follow this logic, you're not thinking about letters, you're thinking about lines and curves. So the letters go begging, and many times, without even thinking about it, oh my goodness, I write the wrong letter. This happens so many times, it's unbelievable. Okay, so you guys are there to try to help me do the right letters. M-A-Y. Let's get back into relaxing again. Get back into the zone. Now, again, this is simply my third rough sketch. It might be my last rough sketch. That is to say, I'm going to do one more final, but it may not even be my last rough sketch yet. I think that's one of the things that maybe some non-calligraphers or beginning calligraphers perhaps misunderstand about good calligraphy, and that is that it's usually all the stuff you don't see are all the rough drafts. So this is my third rough draft, and it may be my last one. It may not even be my last one yet. Okay, I haven't misspelled any words yet. That's a good sign. Just a word again about Unseal. This is in fact probably my favorite font, my favorite letter style. And when I released a number of videos teaching calligraphy, about 4 years ago, and yes, I have out in the market, I believe it's 5 DVDs teaching calligraphy, and I try to make it really clear to anyone who's buying them that I am not a master calligrapher. I'm not even a professional. I guess if the question is, do you ever get paid for it? The answer is yes. But no, I do not consider myself a professional calligrapher. Calligraphy is a hobby to me, a very fun hobby, and maybe a fairly serious hobby. But why did I release DVDs then? Because I think maybe I'm a good teacher. I like living under the illusion that I'm a good teacher. So if you disagree with me, keep it to yourself. Okay, may God bless. Anyway, so of the 5 typefaces that I did, which were typical chancellery italic, Gothic, Vivaldi, which is unusual, by the way. That's not a typical one, but I like Vivaldi so much that I did it anyway. And Unseal and half Unseal. And of those, the Unseal is my favorite font. So I'm using Unseal here partly because I know who I'm doing this for, and I believe that the person I'm doing it for also has a bit of an affection or inclination toward Unseal. And it might be a little bit of ancestral memory working because this person is related to me, and my family has a lot of Celtic in its roots. So boy, I've just opened a can of worms, haven't I? Ancestral memory, what are you talking about? Well, I should Google that and see what comes up when you type in ancestral memory. But it's a theme, a subject, a question that's been around for a long time. Do we pass down memories to our progeny? And as I understand it, the fairly recent science of epigenetics has confirmed that, in fact, through these mysterious things called epigenes, we do, in fact, to some degree, pass on memories through our genes, actually through our epigenes. So Google it. Fascinating question. By no means am I claiming to be an expert, but it does make me wonder if part of the reason I, and some of those related to me, like Unseal typeface is because it is so Irish. It is so Unseal. Sorry for that bad noise. I'm having trouble getting this pen. I had quite a bit of trouble getting it to work before I brought you in here, but I seem to be having that problem again. So let me show you some of the steps that I go through to try to get a pen to work right. This is just a catch-all little container. I've opened my pen. I'm going to turn it counterclockwise to force ink down through the head of the pen. Now let's see if that, I know it'll work for a minute. Let's see if that does the job for a little while. May God bless and keep you. Oh yeah, that's way too dark. Good thing this is a rough draft, isn't it? So if I decide to use this pen in my final rendering, I'm going to have to make sure I really, really get it functioning properly, which it is not doing right now. And I'm running into problems here. Can you see what's happening? Let me zoom in again for you. I don't have room for the word always. So that might answer the question about whether I can use this pen for the final project. It may be too large. Yep. Let's see how close. Yeah, I'm going to miss 1.5 letters, aren't I? Oh, 1 letter. I can squeeze in a Y here. So that gives me a good idea how far off I am. Well, let me stop there. This is a good place to pause anyway. And first of all, check on again on my new toy. I am quite sure that I don't know how it works yet, and publish it just this far, and figure out where I'm going to go from here. I like the color. I'm happy to say that. I don't like the fact that it's light, 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 and then suddenly dark. That's a real, real, real weakness. But let me work out some issues and go from there. Thanks so much for watching.